Hey y'all, what's up? What's going on? Good evening. Give me a second here. Let me go ahead and pause the There we go. There we go. It's the world's first and only dark-skinned activist, Rashida Strober, the undisputed queen of dark skin, the creator, the designer, the architect of the very first platform in history ever created for the eradication of darkism and colorism. I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Make sure y'all like this video. Make sure y'all share this video. This is so impromptu. I'm hoping that as soon as I get started, somebody will call me. That's funny. But I'm hoping that the sister joins us tonight. I'm supposed to have a special guest on tonight, and I have not heard from her yet, but I'm a woman of my word. So if I tell somebody I'm going to do something, I do it. Really quickly, just for those of you that don't know, my name is Rashida Strober. I'm the world's first and only dark-skinned activist. I started dark-skinned activism way back in 1998, and it is the very first platform in history ever created for the eradication of darkism, dark skin discrimination, etc. Before dark skin activism, there was no one speaking about dark skin. Before dark skin activism, there was no one speaking about colorism. There was no one that was available to do the work that I currently do. And that's why I became the dark skin activist. I was actually looking for someone to do what I do, and it did not exist. And so I started the movement with the speech that I gave at St. Petersburg College, where I was an undergraduate at the time, about darkism and colorism. And from there, I built the first brand around dark skin. No one else has done this before me. I've written more books on dark skin than anybody in the world. I have a play that I wrote. It's called The Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge, and I'm going to be performing the play on, give me a second here, I'm going to share my screen with you guys. I'm going to be performing the play on June 26th in Atlanta, Georgia, and you can purchase your tickets through pay-per-view live stream. Yes, so that means that it doesn't matter where you're at in the world, you will be able to, and by the way, if I'm looking down, I'm just monitoring the chat. You will be able to watch A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge from anywhere in the world through pay-per-view live stream. So the website where you can purchase your tickets at to watch from home my definitive play about dark skin, the original play about dark skin called A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge, you guys can go to my website, and the website is darkskinactivist.com. Once again, that is darkskinactivist.com. So yes, the tickets are on sale right now. And hold on one second, ladies and gentlemen. Once you get to the, so yes, the tickets are on sale right now. Hold on, let me pause this. And shouldn't be playing. Okay, so once you get to the website, you will, if you want to watch it from home, you just click this buy now button. You click that buy now button, and it'll take you to get your virtual ticket. Okay, and once you get your once you click this button, it will prompt you to go ahead and give whatever information that they're requesting, and you can move from there. Okay, so anybody can watch A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge from the comfort of your own home. All you need to do, once again, is go to darkskinactivist.com. Now, while you're there, also, don't let me forget, if you are in Atlanta, you can come to the location. Okay, come out to the location. I'm going to be at the White Label located at 349 Decatur Street Southeast, Unit M. And there's going to be a Darkism talk right after the show. So if you want to come out in person, click this buy now button. Now, also, if you want to read my book, Darkism, for free, simply fill in your information, and you will then receive a ebook copy of my book, Darkism. So I got a lot of good stuff here. Also, I want everybody to support the work that I do because I'm fundraising for the production fund. So I have to pay for these things out of my pocket. I'm always in fundraising mode. I have to pay for the venue. I have to pay for the travel, the gas, the technical setup, my camera person, marketing. So please go and make a donation to, you can go to my GoFundMe and make a donation. I'm going to copy and paste that link, or you can go to my Cash App and make a donation. I just ask that you donate because I have all these expenses that are associated with producing this play, and it's not easy. It's not easy like how people think. I have to raise money. Like I said, I'm an independent self-producing artist, and it takes money to do what I do. So please go and make a donation. Now you can also go to my Cash App, which is Rashida Lala. Rashida Lala. Okay. So please, I implore everyone to make a donation to one of my financial platforms. Now, I'm going to be checking back and forth in the StreamYard in the backstage area, because let me get to the point of this stream. Now, I'm supposed to have, yes, a special guest come on tonight. And this person contacted the dark skin activist after she saw me on African Tigress's platform. So you guys can go and Google African Tigress, or I'm sorry, YouTube African Tigress, and you will discover who she is. She's an excellent young lady. In fact, let me go ahead and just simply YouTube her channel right now. And you guys can, she was so gracious and so kind, and she had me on her platform. And let's see, African Tigress, sister from Kenya. This is her channel right here. This is African Tigress. Okay, so please make sure you go and subscribe to African Tigress's channel. Shout out to her. I really do appreciate this young lady. I want to say about maybe 2-3 weeks ago, African Tigress invited me onto her platform to speak about darkism and colorism. And I came on her platform, and there was a brown-skinned man that was on there that was pretty much contesting everything that I was saying. I went into detail, like I always do, explaining how I became the dark skin activist, why I started dark skin activism, which is the very first platform in history for the eradication of colorism and darkism. And there was another young man on the panel that opposed everything, almost everything I was saying. He was basically telling me I was making excuses and I need to grow up, and I shouldn't let what happened in my childhood affect my adulthood. And he just made I call these types of people darkism deniers, and that's what he was. And I did drop the video on my channel. It's there, you guys. But if you guys want to go onto African Tigress channel, it's there, so that you can hear it for yourself. So this particular young lady, I'm going to stop the screen sharing. Make sure you guys make some donations tonight. Do not donate to the super chat. Go to my Cash App or go to my GoFundMe, please. Thank you. And all the information is in the chat. I'm going to stop screen sharing. So a young lady contacted me who had listened in on that show. Okay. And she sent me an email today, and I'm hoping that she comes on. That's why I'm gonna keep checking the backstage StreamYard. I'm continuously checking it to see if she's arrived, because I'm gonna wait a little while for her. I don't know what's happened, but basically this young lady saw me, or she heard me on the show. Oh, wait a minute. I think that she's in the building. I love it. Yes. She's in the building. I get excited because I want to hear these stories. But let me give you guys the backstory. I've never met this young lady in my life. Y'all know I'm always open to talking to everybody. I talk to anybody and everybody. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you got a big YouTube channel. I don't care if you got a small. I don't care. Everybody's important to me. Y'all know I just get sensitive about people stealing my I got a problem with that, and I'll even talk to you about that. But so that's how she got to know me. So this young lady, she sent me an email, and I'm going to read to you guys the email that she sent me. And I don't know her. This is an impromptu, but I'm always willing to listen to Black women who have gone through darkism, and she has a lot that she has to say, and I want her to share. She says, "Hi Rashida, I just saw your talk on African tigress, and I totally agree. I have never had a Black boyfriend. I will literally walk on the street and hear a group of Black men who will look at me and say that I look beautiful, but I am too Black or too skinny. I have been discriminated against. I have been discriminated and mistreated by dark people, light-skinned people, and white people due to my color. However, I'm not here to write my whole life story, but I want her to talk about it tonight. But she says, all I know is that you are right and that I have experienced the same in my own way. The reason I'm writing you is that I have done my own research from another perspective, and this is what I have found out. There is no way we can fight the system. Reason for saying that is because it has been tried and has failed numerous times. The only successful revolutions in the world were achieved by secret societies, the same who have shaped our societies and the world to their liking. I've done the research. I'm not saying I have the absolute right answer, but I have the evidence to back it up. The only way we as Black people can rise, get to where we're supposed to be, is by starting ownership. And I'm going to let her come on here and talk about this because I want her to put it in her own words. I just want to kind of give you guys the backstory. She says, I really hope you will react to this email. I know that we need to start with action now. The longer we wait, the worse it gets. You are very brave and totally right on everything you are saying. However, I believe the only way for Black people is to rise by unity that doesn't contribute to the system. Thank you for your time. And I responded to her, and I did, because we just met each other. This is so impromptu, but I'm so interested in what this sister has to say. She is, by the way, Ghanaian. She is from Ghana, but she lives in Singapore. Okay. So she sent a short bio because I asked her for one because I just wanted to know more information so I could give you guys a backstory here. She says, I'm Akua, 26 years old, born in Kumasi, Ghana, went to NL 20 years ago. I studied communication studies and business innovation. I have my sustainable clothing brand that was about to launch a few months ago, but the virus happened and production slowed down. Interesting. For the rest, I'm curious, love to travel. I have a broad interest, and I left my parental home when I was 12 after finishing the King James Bible. I've been on my own since then and have experienced a lot of horror, but more beauty. My purpose in life is to expose the secret of life in any way possible. Okay. If you would like to know more, please do not hesitate to ask. Everybody likes to talk about themselves. Haha. She has a very good sense of humor. So I have gathered some great information from this sister. I'm very excited to bring her on, and I'm finna shut up, and we finna bring on this sister. Real quick, Brianna, you guys can donate to my Cash App. So just go to my Cash App. That's the best way to do it. I'm so excited to have her here. Let me shut up and stop talking and bring Akua, our sister from Ghana, by way of Singapore, to the platform of the world's first and only dark-skinned activist. Akua.
Hi, hello, hi.
How are you?
I am doing great.
Talking about you.
It's okay. I heard it.
I'm very
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. I'm also really grateful to be here. I'm really happy that you reacted and that you invited me here. It's amazing. So thank you very much for giving me your time. And yeah, let me be here. So yeah, I cannot say anything more. I just woke up, so I'm not like 100%.
No, you are fine.
Yeah.
I'm happy to have you here. I'm honored. So I'm going to give you the floor. I just pretty much gave a snippet of your bio, but I want you to express to the people whatever is on your heart and soul and your mind. And I definitely want to talk about, of course, darkism in Ghana and in Singapore and in other areas of the world, because you are international here, so you have a unique perspective that I think everybody is going to be able to appreciate. So let me shut up.
Yeah, so as she said, I'm a Kia, born in Ghana. I lived in the Netherlands for a very long time. I studied communication. I finished the study, and then I did business innovation that I didn't finish. Instead, I went out of the country and I started to travel. So I have mostly, like, I've traveled to like Nigeria, mostly Nigeria, and mostly through Southeast Asia due to my brand, my fashion brand that trying to start. And due to that, I've traveled mostly in Southeast Asia, and basically this it. So yeah, I found a dark skin activist by accident looking at African triggers, and you were talking to her about darkism, and there was this guy who was like being totally out of, like, I don't know, it really irritated me because he was denying your experiences and like being quite ignorant. But I loved like the passion that you had for it, so I thought, I'm just going to contact you. I've tried to contact a few YouTubers, and basically you are the only one who ever um, gave me a reply, so I'm really grateful for that.
Oh, of course.
Um, because like as I said, I know that there's a lot of problems that we as Black people have, and I think that there's also a lot of solutions that we can take, but I believe that we cannot use like the same old methods that been used for ages now to battle a problem that has been going on for ages now. So that is my take on a lot of things. And yeah, I like to see things from a bigger perspective, from from a bigger perspective. So that's how I look at things, and that's how I do my things. And I really want to uplift Black people in anywhere, everywhere they are, because I really believe that we have something special and we can use that to prosper in our life. But we just have to find out where it is, what it is, and basically stop doing like the darkism and like the blame game and all that kind of stuff. It's just not working out for us. So that's a little bit about me.
All right.
Yeah.
Can you do you mind telling us about your experience, like your childhood in Ghana, your experiences in Ghana growing up?
So when I was in Ghana, I was 6 when I moved from Ghana to the Netherlands. And what I can remember from my experience in Ghana was actually having a quite free childhood, and doing like what kids supposed to do. I didn't have a worry in the world, so I cannot really talk about darkism in Ghana, especially when I was growing up, because I grew up at a at school and at boarding, yeah, like at a boarding school and at the playground. That's the only thing that I remember, like going to school, playing with my friends, and having just a good time. Yeah,
What?
it's just. mm,
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
yeah, it's just after I moved from Ghana to the Netherlands that I started to experience things that I didn't like to experience. So that is what I can say about Ghana. I can also say a little bit about what is happening now because I've visited it. But for me, I don't think I'm a great source for that. I can give you more about the Ghanaian community in the Netherlands. I can give you more about the Black overall community in the Netherlands and in Europe a little bit, and in Asia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And the reason I'm asking that is because in my head I'm creating frameworks already, and you can always chime in and correct me. because you have this firsthand experience. It sounds to me like, and someone in the chat, if I'm looking away, it's because I'm looking at the chat, kind of monitoring it.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
Someone said, Champ said they don't have darkism in Ghana, and that was what
Oh, they do.
I was thinking this. So that's why I asked you that. You said they do. Go ahead.
Yeah, they do. So there is in basically all over the world where there are a lot of black people, this whole thing about bleaching yourself is really big. People bleach themselves until they get like skin cancer. It is something that is quite big in Ghana, in Nigeria, and in the communities around it. Um, I if you are light skinned in the Ghanaian community, you are being called beautiful, lighty, and all those kind of things. So there is really a push towards lighter skin, which is perpetrated by the media. Like, for example, what I notice in Asia mostly is that you have Nivea, you have like L'Oreal and all those brands. They have lightening creams in Asia and in Nigeria and in Ghana, where in the Western world you will never see them advertising that. In the Western world, they advertise like every color matters or whatever they do, having like different type of women. But if you go back in the other world, in the third and second world, they are totally promoting bleaching, and the lighter your skin, the better you are. In the media, in Ghanaian media and in Nigerian media, most of the girls are light skinned.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a big deal.
Wow. And so I kind of wanted to kind of go back to your childhood again. And the reason I'm asking you this is because over here in America, for me, it was interesting that you said, and I don't know if it's just because you don't remember or you didn't experience it, but as I was growing up, I remember like going back even to like elementary school, kindergarten, experiencing darkism, and it was at school, it was in my family, etc. And so
Yeah,
when you talked about your childhood was good, I'm happy to hear that because I like to hear, and yes, I am biased. People get mad at me all the time, but I'm biased because of my own personal experience and what I've seen other dark skinned girls go through. So when I see a dark skinned woman that says I had a good childhood and you're not talking about that, I'm actually happy to hear that. I think that that's a
yeah,
beautiful, wonderful thing. And I think that and additionally, you also can admit that just because you didn't have it in your childhood, that other
yeah,
people experience it. So that's why
yeah.
I'm intrigued by that. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you think like my childhood. As I say, was still six, right, in Ghana, and I live like with a aunt. I'm not 100% sure about it. My childhood is a little bit a mystery, but she was too young to take care of me, so I could do whatever I want. And I think it's also totally different if you're born in Africa and you grow up in Africa. There are a lot of black people there, so it's going to be a little bit hard to discriminate if you don't live in a city, in a big city, or you don't have like TV. We didn't have, yeah, we had TV, but it's like once a week or something we would watch TV. So you didn't have a lot of media to influence you. You didn't have a lot of people around you to influence you and tell you that it is beautiful or that is not beautiful. It was just like basically you live. I grew up in a little, it's Kumasi, it's not a little town or something, but there wasn't a lot of people to influence you in what you should believe or what you should do. It's just when I went from that situation to the Netherlands, where you had like racism is really big there. You start noticing what is going on, and you start like feeling weird about yourself and other people, and you start seeing that people have a problem with your skin color, which and if you're born in like how I grew up, it doesn't make any sense. You don't understand what's going on,
Right.
and you reject it because you have never experienced that. Like everything is about experiences, you know. So if you grew up with an amazing with nobody telling you that you're ugly because your skin color, and you go to some place and somebody's telling you you're ugly because your skin color, you're like, what? Huh? That's weird. Are you
Yeah.
okay?
Interesting.
You
And
know,
that's
so
kind of where I want to go now. So, okay, you come to the Netherlands, and what happens? Who inflicts this darkism on you?
So basically, I came to the Netherlands, and I was so there's something that happens in Ghana and in Africa too. They basically sell kits to do like house chores in somebody's house, you know, to take care of the kids and stuff. And I think that's the same thing that happened with me because the person that I live with doesn't have my birth certificate and all this kind of stuff, and it's just really weird. And she used to abuse me to a level that you can think. As a child, I was like, okay, a real mother will never do that to a child, you know.
Wait a
But
minute. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just want to understand this. Did you say that are you saying that you came over to the Netherlands to work for someone in their house, in their home?
that is, yeah, so that is what I think because, as I said, like she used to abuse me to a level that as a child, I couldn't believe that she would be my mom.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry to hear
And I
that.
used to do like all the chores and, you know, take care of her kids and all that kind of stuff. So it was like, okay, probably not that person. But I experienced from her, I learned darkism because she was African too. She was
Really?
Ghanaian. And she used to bleach herself nonstop. Like she had a cream. I remember like she would bleach herself, and we would go to church. Everybody would say that she's beautiful because she
Oh,
was
wow.
light skinned, and that was just her thing, you know, that she was light skinned. She tried to push that. I mean, with me it was different because with me, I don't know, she hated me for some reason,
Mhm.
and yeah, she used to abuse me horribly, and I used to be like, you know, the cleaning girl and all that kind of stuff. But
Oh, wow.
yeah, so she was really light skinned, and she will get like a lot of attention, and I will notice that. And they will say like I'm too dark or something, or she will say like I should also bleach myself and then I'll be more beautiful.
Mhm.
She used to straighten my hair, you know, all this kind of stuff that I didn't really understood, but you know, what can you do as a child? So when she also have her own kids, I know that one of them, I checked their Facebook a few days ago, and it was like she is really light skinned, and the people from the church, because they go to SDA church, were saying, "Oh, my lighty, you're my lighty, so
Mm.
beautiful," those kind of stuff. So in the Ghanaian culture, it is really it's just they talk about it openly, but it is in the Netherlands and in Nigeria where I went later that I can 100% say like, yeah, they bleach themselves. The lighter you are, the more people will like to talk with you and will think you're beautiful, and the more guys you get. So at a certain moment, I ran away from that place and I lived in foster homes.
Oh, wow.
And I met a girl there who was like really light skinned, but like with a big ass. And I used to hang out with her a lot. And with her, I really learned what my place was in society in the black community.
Wow.
Because basically it's like this: you will walk on the street, right, and you're with your girl, and she's light skinned, like really, like she's like porcelain light. Her mother was white, so she's like porcelain light skin, but
Mhm.
she has a big ass and the African features, right? And she will literally get all the attention, like
Mhm.
all the attention, and I'll be like her silly friend, you know, or her
Mhm.
cute little friend, but she will be seen as a beautiful, the most beautiful girl in the world. She will get men walking behind her, and like it's just it's just so over. Um, for me, it was like too much. Like it's not
Right.
that she was like, I don't know, the most beautiful girl in the world or something. She was just beautiful and light skin.
Right.
And that is the only futures she had. It was not like she had an amazing personality or something. And I know that she used to use these guys because of that
Mm-hmm.
for monetary reasons, you know. And she knew that because of that, because of her light skin, she can literally take their money, tell them they're stupid, whatever she could, and they will beg her to come back. Like she would be like, "Oh yeah, I don't like you anymore because this and that," and then they will beg her to come back,
Mm-hmm.
and I would be seen like a sidekick, you know.
Right. I understand. No, I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah, so I got a little bit discouraged, let me say it like that, because I realized so that is my place in society,
Mm.
a sidekick.
You realize that's it's so interesting. And I don't mean to cut you off. It's just certain things that you're
Yeah,
saying. It's a darkism trigger for me, and it's a source of sadness for me to just because we never met before. We just talking to each other for the first time. Just to
yeah,
a story. When you say, I realized my place in society, and that's the type of that's one of the reasons why I'm fighting, because a dark skinned person shouldn't have an inferior place in society. That in
yeah.
itself is darkism to me. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's a painful realization. I'm like really sad as you sitting up here talking, and then you talked about you was you were in foster homes. You had to come over there to work for another African woman, which I call this is intra darkism, and she mistreated you, and then threw her light skin privilege in your face. This is suffering.
So I will tell you something that also like I think it's my fictory story, but it can be seen as negative. But basically, in one of the forces homes that I lived in, I got adopted. It was only for 2 weeks by this white lady, right? And what happened was I got adopted. Everything went well. They said like we were a perfect match. Blah 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 blah. I was like, I'm not sure about it. So they sent me to that place in that house. But you have to know that Netherlands is super racist. Like they are super racist, and they will deny it right in your face, right? And it's not only the white people; it's also the dark people. So I was adopted in the house, and she brought me to her house, a beautiful place, and she was like, "Yeah, so basically, this is your cups, your cutlery, your stuff that you can use, and this is my stuff that I can use." And I was like, "Oh, but why?" And she told me that black people, their parents or sometimes themselves, have something in their saliva and in their blood that can make white people sick.
Oh wow.
So I had to have my own things to eat from, and she had her own things to eat from, and we cannot I cannot touch her stuff, and she cannot touch my stuff.
And this
So
is the woman that adopted you?
yes, yes,
How old
yes.
were you?
I was 12.
12 years
Yeah,
old? She's telling you this? To a
yeah,
kid?
yeah.
That's absolute. Oh my God.
It get worse. So I one time she did something horrible, and I bit her because I wanted to see if she was going to die. And I locked myself up in the toilet, and then I called like some people that I thought I could trust, who told me like, "Oh no, you should be happy that you were adopted," and blah 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 blah. What happened was, she wanted me to do a test at the hospital for the disease. She said it was not HIV, right? For the disease that she think that I have that can make her sick. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to do that. It's crazy. Basically, they invited a black judge
Mhm.
to her house to tell me that I should go and do that test, and they should take blood from me, and they should take saliva from me to
Mhm.
take that test to see if I had that mystery disease that can make white people sick. And this judge was dark, and I
Huh.
couldn't believe that she was doing that. But anyways, they forced me to do that, and then eventually I ran away because I
Oh
was
my
like, I'm
God.
gonna stay there. But yeah, so I was in the Netherlands is super racist, so keep that in mind. But I have experienced a lot of these type of things. Or for example, with like finishing your study, you have like your scriptsy. I don't know how you say it in the in English. Like you have the paper that you have to write, right? And I noticed that every dark person that I know,
Mhm.
yeah, you have your proposal that you have to put down, and then they have to approve it or not. Every person that I know who had a dark skin proposal was rejected, and then they had to stay another year at school and have like another year of that. And it was just because they had a dark skin. That's all it
Right.
was, like
Right.
because of that.
Um, this is your story is really powerful, and I got a lot of empathy for you because it's just I'm just like hearing this, and I'm just like I'm also thinking that people of African descent, black people, dark skinned people, we got to do better because there's no reason why a 12-year-old dark skinned this reminds me of slavery, how dark skinned people came from the various African countries over to the United States, and they were exploited, they were beaten, they were brutalized, they were violated, and it took so many years, of course, for us to be able to, do something about it. And it's here it is. What you're saying to me sounds like modern day slavery, and
Oh yeah,
we got to do better with adopting our black kids. This is so sad.
yeah. There's a lot of modern day slavery in this world. Like if you start traveling around, you will see it with your own eyes. There
Mhm.
is a lot of modern day slavery. There's a lot of black kids getting trafficked throughout the world. It's like in where was it, in which country? Qatar. I saw it. You'll see young black girls. You will not, sometimes you will see them out of the house, but they are the cleaners, the housemates, and they get sold between the people there, and their passport is taken away, their birth certificate is a lie, and they cannot go back unless there's an organization who almost has to kidnap them to take them out of the situation. They get treated horribly. I met one of these girls, and she told me like, yeah, she will be like sleeping in a barn
Oh my
next to
God.
the cows because those people, those Arab people, will call her animal and horrible things. I went to India also, and you have North India, you have South India. The more south you go, the darker people are. The more north you go, like how I see it, it's like dirty, it's nasty, and people are horrible there, horrible. But if you are dark skinned, they will treat you horribly. Like
Wow.
it's
I'm so
just
sorry to hear this. I really
it's
am.
just it's just how do you say, it's worldwide. The thing that I want people to know, that it is a worldwide phenomenon. It is not something that is only happening in America. It's not something that is only happening in Europe. It's something that is happening in Africa itself. It's something that is happening in Asia. It's something that is happening like it is not. It is worse than what we think. So you have in Australia, you have Tanzania, yeah, where there used to be Tanzanian people who were dark skinned. None of them are on this earth today. They're all dead. They're all dead.
Hmm. Hmm.
And you then start to question like what is going on with what is happening with what why black people, why dark skinned people, what is so wrong with us or so good with us that they want to literally destroy, because that's how I see it. They destroy. I studied like all those revolutions and wars throughout the world, and it is mostly dark people that get killed
Or enslaved. Absolutely.
or enslaved. um,
Yeah.
I I made it my life mission to know what is going on, why dark people, why the hatred, why the focus on destroying our culture, our heritage, our history, our our identity, why the focus is so focused on that. And what I found out was I don't know. I have to say that it is my own experience that I have been through and that I have seen with my own eyes. I have traveled a little bit and I've seen it with my own eyes. So as I think at the end of the email I said like dark woman used to be a beautiful thing. We used to be goddesses. Even in Greece mythology, they had black skinned goddesses, right? We used to dark skinned people used to rule basically a big part of Europe. A lot of people don't know it, but we used to rule Spain, Italy. Basically, when Europe had the Dark Ages, yeah, the Moors came. There were dark people who were practicing Islam, came and gave them the beautiful houses, buildings that you see that are not from the Romans. Even the Romans had like dark-skinned queens and kings. The Granada, Spain, is built by them. Madrid is built by them. A lot of places in Europe, you will see like a dark-skinned person on a building. You will see paintings with dark-skinned people in royal clothing and in Europe. If you look in South America and in America, the first people who came there, the first, like I call it the racist belt because it's literally like the countries near the sea, like Italy, Spain, France, Netherlands, and some Scandinavian countries. When they came there, their first account of people there were Indians, Moors. That's how they call us. That's why we don't read anything about ourselves in history, because we were not called black or Africans. We were called Moors. So in South America, in Asia, a lot. They even have like the word Moro, which is a derivation of the word Moors. You had dark-skinned people who built the beautiful structures you see. So when I was in Cambodia, in Cambodia they killed everybody who could read this. During the Khmer Rouge, they killed everybody. You have amazing temples with amazing writings in a language that almost nobody can understand because they killed everybody who could understand it. And you will see African people on those buildings. These buildings are old, really old. They cannot say how old it is because first they denied that it even existed.
Mm.
Old buildings with African people. You have stories where like the old guy sitting there will be like, yeah, your people used to come here and then stay here for half year in Cambodia, and they will like, we will exchange culture, we will exchange food and stuff, and then you will go and you will go on further in Asia to trade. It is, I don't know how to say it, but it is so, we were so involved with this world, except one part of the world that we were not involved in. Like, for example, Atlantis. Everybody has learned about, have heard about Atlantis, right?
Yes.
There is
Some people
literally,
haven't. So for those people who haven't, you can expound.
yeah. So Atlantis is very influential in history. They have made a lot of movies about it. They think like it's a lie, but it's a story, but it is not. It really existed because Plato described it, and Plato's like really highly seen in the Western world. And the way he described it, you can literally find it if you go to the Sahara Desert. You can find it there. The way he described it, the sunken city, everything that he's saying is in Africa. It's in Africa, in the west, in the west of the Sahara. If you can find it, you can Google it, and you will see. If you read the text next to it, you will see that is where it is. So I believe what I have seen is that we as African people, we used to be everywhere in the world. We used to rule the world, and we did something, or we got betrayed by someone who then reversed everything and whitewashed everything that we did. So in England, you had like, what is that game? The name of his name is Cromwell. I forgot his first name. He literally, yeah, Cromwell. I can send it to you when I find out what the name is. He literally destroyed everything about England, UK, and all the arts and etc. But if you go and if you look at the old artifacts, and if you look at the old paintings and stuff, you will see black people since 711, yeah, in England till 1800s or late 1700s. There were black people there. There's in Germany, in Spain, in everywhere, in even South America. Like, for me, to be honest, I believe that the 400 years of slavery doesn't make any sense. And the reason why I don't believe that is black people, African people, would not have taken it for so long, 400 years. And if you have paintings of black people wearing royal clothing, Moors wearing royal clothing in Europe in 1700s, and you have the first people who went to America saying that the people that they found there were Moors or Indo, which are dark skinned. It doesn't make sense that for 400 years Africans who were so proud, who had like, if you look at the history, built Atlantis, the pyramids, in Sudan, in Nigeria, in Egypt, even pyramids. You have pyramids in Bosnia, in Italy, in France. You have pyramids in South America, in North America that they destroyed, unfortunately. You had like so many where you can see like people with African futures. You know, the eyelid, the big nose, the big lips. You can see it everywhere in the artifacts. We had like, we were all over the world and we did something, or I believe that my thing is like, we didn't share our information with everybody. And when they found out, they got mad, and they wanted revenge. That is my thing, because like the 400 slavery doesn't doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Like, if you go to Africa and you tell them, if you go to Nigeria, Lagos, and you tell them to get in my boat and I will bring you to a new world, they will beat the shit out of you. There's no way. Like, for me, it doesn't make any sense. Like, you have somebody like Shaq O'Neal, long ass black guy, his family, probably his ancestors, big ass people, who will sit in a boat for 400 years and not do anything about it. It's just.
Well, I mean, we can. We had a Haitian brother on here, brother King Kevin Dorval. We talked about the Haitian Revolution, which of course you had the slaves that stood up, the first republic
Yeah.
by won and fought for by former enslaved people. He doesn't like to call them slaves. He says let's
No.
as enslaved, which I agree. So what you're saying, it definitely has some relevancy to it, and brings me to the next point I want to make, because you have solutions. You are working, and I love that. Now y'all got to listen. Y'all, let's pay attention to this, sister here. This is important. You are 20 years old. You are young. You are very well read. You are conscious. You understand, and I've never met you, but I could clearly see that intelligence, that consciousness, and that drive, and I can respect and appreciate that. So you have a consciousness of what's going on, and more importantly, you are about solutions. So can you
Yeah.
tell us about that?
Yeah. So what I've noticed is that when there's like a lot of good solutions, people like to advertise that. So I'm not going to really advertise a lot what I'm saying, because when you advertise it, people will notice it and they will come and try to destroy it. But what I can say is that every successful revolution is started by a secret society. And if you see, like, let's say, take a example, the Mormons, right? What the Mormons do is that they come together, or the Jewish people, they come together and they sit and they discuss about how they're going to uplift themselves, right? And how they do it is they make sure that people start businesses. And I don't mean like selling sales businesses, more in productions, right? And what they do is they ask a percentage of that business to come for the greater, like 10% of your business earnings is for the greater good. With that money, what they do is they educate their own people in, how do you call it, in more practical things.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, in sewing clothing, in making, like, I don't know, technical things, like inventing things. They teach them about the history. They teach them about, they give them like a type of prideness that you will never get from anywhere else. So for example, the Jewish people, the white Jewish people, who say like they've been hunted for all over the years and blah blah blah, and because of, and the reason because of that is because they are special, and everybody's hating on them. So the kids grow up with like this thing, like, okay, whatever you say, whatever you do, it doesn't matter, because I know that I'm great inside, and I know that I can achieve greatness, if I just focus on my goals. And the reason you're doing this is because of bullshit. So they teach their kids this, and they teach them practical things that they can use in life and to make money. And that is how they build their communities.
Right.
And they use like certain ways to do that. And I think black people should do that too. And we should use that, that's what we're doing, as a way to also communicate with people. So I studied communication, and I know how important propaganda, PR, and all these kind of things are. Like everything we see on TV has a reason. Like how black people are portrayed is for a reason. Is so that we have like a fixed mindset on what a dark person or black person supposed to be. And I believe that if we get into a level that we are taking care of each other, business wise, education wise, even if somebody's poor, we help each other. Um, we can reach to a stage where we can have, how do you call it, the means and the productions to use the same thing that they use against us for us.
Right.
Because that's the only way how I see it. Because basically they brainwash us from education to media to everything. That's what I learned at school, how to brainwash people into buying stuff, into behaving the way that they will never do.
Yeah.
And we have to reverse that. But we cannot do that by asking them to change, by asking them to do that for us, because they are not going to do it for us. They are following their own agenda. We cannot go and protest and be like, oh, you are wrong, you should do like this. But they don't care. They really don't care.
Right.
We cannot. I believe that black people have the battered woman syndrome. You know, like we are being abused and we are asking our abusers to change. We are asking, we believe that abusers can change. We believe that we can beat up our abusers, but we can't. We will never. The only thing that you can do when you are abused, and I'm an expert is to walk the fuck away.
And
That's not.
you are the living embodiment of that, because you talked to us about the abuse that you went through, the darkism, the racism. You experienced racism and darkism.
Yeah.
And you walked away from that abuse. And I'm just observing, listening to you. You are happy. You seem happy. You smile. And it's like you walk through all of that and you still have a very good attitude and you're still pushing forward instead of doing something destructive and saying, well, this happened to me, I'm not going to move forward. But you are an example of what you are preaching about. So I can respect that. Also, when you talk about Black people, we have to free ourselves from our own oppression. That is at the meat, and I've said this more times than I can count. I'm glad you're on here articulating this. I've said that dark skin activism, at the root of it, is economics. That's at the very root, because the ways in which dark skinned people are impacted is mostly through economics, and it folds over into politics and socioeconomic, socio-political. All one and the same. And so what we got to do as Black people is we have to figure out ways to break out of what I call systemic economic darkism, because that is it is a dark-skinned person's life chances, which you are an example of that. People trying to impede it, people trying to negatively impact it by discriminating against the person because they're dark skinned. So your ideas about Black people having to go about this a different way. And I don't know if you know who Dr. Claude Anderson is, but if you don't, Dr. Claude Anderson, who happens to be a light-skinned Black man, but his ideas are, he's been preaching the same thing for years, that Black people, we've got to practice what he calls group economics. Do. Who else? Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu, another one. He wrote a book about how Black people can empower themselves on an economic level. So I absolutely love what you are doing and what you are saying. You are right on the mark. And again, only 26 years old with this type of knowledge. I love it. I got a lot of respect, because I'm gonna be honest with you now. I don't run into a lot of, I live in the South, in United States, in the, and you just don't run into, um, you kind of remind me of myself at 26, except I was more radical. You're smiling and you're happy and you're nice, which is something. I think that's great. So I absolutely got a lot of respect for it. Can you tell people, because I'm pretty sure that people are going to want to follow you. They want to know what you're doing. You did talk about your clothing line. They're going to want to support you. How
Yeah.
you tell them whatever you want to tell them in terms of.
So basically, I started by myself with my clothing thing, and it's just a lot of work because I also do like a lot of other projects with it. So everything is on hold. I will feel a little bit weird to say like, oh yeah, go to this and this, but you will not see anything. But my clothing brand is called Globally Ghetto.
What is it?
Um,
What is it called again?
globally Ghetto.
Did you have you protected your brand legally?
Yeah. I protected my brand legally.
Right.
Yeah. That's the first
Okay.
thing I did.
Okay. So it's called Globally Ghetto.
Yes.
Simple title. Love it. Go ahead.
And the project that I'm working on is called Para Nation. And it's like the project that I am working on with now. I found a few people that are interested in working on with me, and we are focusing on bringing like knowledge to dark people, the black people, in like how to master your own mind, how to know thyself, and etc. to inspire them to start their own businesses, because that is basically the only way you can get out of the system. Like there's no other way. You cannot, like this, everything has tried and has failed, but it is something that always worked. So that is what it is. I can send it later, but at this moment we are at the starting point, and we are just writing everything and taping everything and etc. But I really wanted to talk with you about this, and because I feel your pain. I feel like your struggle, and I know how hard it is. But I also want you to know that life is like so much more beautiful, and we have so much more opportunities that we can utilize. One of my obsessions basically is 3D printers. That is something that we can teach our
What
kids,
kind of
like
printers?
3D printers.
Did you say 3D printers?
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah. You know 3D printers, right?
I'm not familiar with. I got like a regular old printer in here.
Oh my God. So that is what I mean. Like you have so many things that we can do. 3D printers is something that you can build yourself, right? And you can use anything that you want, any raw material that you want to print out a 3D figure. So you can take a picture of yourself and then scan it. Like you can scan, or you can take a picture of yourself and it will print out your face, everything. Like you have different type of 3D printers. You have 3D printers that you put sand in and it prints out glass. You have 3D printers that can print a whole house, a whole car, and
Wow.
all that kind of stuff. So I that is my focus in like the group. Like I really want to move especially black people into that category, because it's easy to you can build it yourself. You can It's really cheap to produce, to make production, and you can start already selling things. Only you have to know that it exists,
Wow.
so these type of things that I want to bring into the black people's life. Like for example, how to make your own battery. You need a
Hmm.
clay pot, you need grape juice and a copper wire,
Hmm.
and you have a battery. You can put your light bulb on it and you have light, and then you don't have to rely on electricity companies or those kind of things to get the stuff that you like. So I am more in the makers things, society, that you know, you just make your own life, you just make your own happiness, you make your own product, so that you can be independent from the system that is oppressing you.
Right.
And when you have that independence, you don't have to focus your precious energy that you have on their bullshit, and you can focus that precious energy that you have on you and your environment and the people around you that you love.
I love it.
Yeah.
Is there a way that people could get in contact with you now, or how do you do that? Like, do you have your social media, or
So I
that's
just
it?
made I recently made a Twitter and an Instagram called Para Nations, but it's not together because it's like out, like you have Para and then Nations. But that is the way that people can contact me. At this moment, I only do contact through Telegram, and then I send like a Telegram link. I can send that to people if they are interested in doing this type of things. I would like to talk with people who are interested in action. So I want to tell everybody that I know the world is horrible, and I know there's like things going on and things are bad, but I want action. I don't like, you know, I know it's bad. You know it's bad. We all know it's bad. The only way we can get through it is either we study why it is bad, how it became like that, or we take action. Everything else is for me like, yeah, you're just being like a, I don't know, CNN.
And just for people out there that's listening, it sounds like what you're doing is in its infancy. But if people out there that's watching and listening to you, and they like what you're doing, is there a mechanism for people to help you and support you? Like,
I think people can support me by downloading Telegram and looking for Akiras in Uru, and we can talk on how they can support this project. I'm not really looking for money. I know it's really important, but I'm not looking for money. I'm looking for minds. I'm looking for creativity, and I'm looking for um, people who are sick and tired, basically, and who are angry and want to do something about this. And yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So if you have any willpower to, yeah, make your own life and create your own life and be that person that you know in deep inside you can be, I am really interested to meet you, and we can talk and we can see where your talents lies and how you can utilize it into yeah, into our community.
that
Yeah.
is awesome. That is awesome. Um, so yeah, I wanted to get to some of the questions in the chat. People always say you don't pay attention to the chat, and I actually do. It's just sometimes I'm talking or I'm listening to the person that's the guest. So I got some questions in the chat. Do you mind answering some of the questions, or
Yeah, that was fine. Yeah.
now someone asked this question about, they wanted to know if you are dating an Asian guy.
No, I'm not dating an Asian guy. No, no, no,
And the
no.
reason the reason they asked that question, I know why they asked that question, is because when I had asked you to send like a picture, I used the thumbnail because that picture of you was easier to see.
Oh,
So just
yeah.
just so you know. Um,
No, it's a picture like I don't have normal pictures of myself where I'm not goofing around. So it's just a picture of a friend that I met here, and she brought me to her parents, and they wanted to take a picture with me. That's it. It's
See, y'all have it. Y'all making these assumptions. Y'all making these assumptions. I'm going through the chat right here, and I have another person that's asking this question. Now, I'm y'all. I'm definitely not here to. I just don't like putting people on the spot, like, or being like. coming across as mean or just like I don't really like to do that to people. People have done that to me so much. I don't like to do it. But I'm gonna ask this question because someone asked it. They want to know, and I'm not asking you this in a way to be mean to you because that's not what I want to do. That's not even my intent. Um,
Hmm.
question: are you a swirler?
I don't know what a swirler is.
She doesn't even. She doesn't know a swirl. See? um, a swirler person that dates interracially. It could go either way. It could be a black woman dating a non-black man, or vice versa. So that's they. Sometimes people will automatically assume that a black woman, because there's this movement online of black women telling other black women to swirl. They're saying basically give up on black people or black men because they've treated you so bad and go and get you a non black man. And so sometimes people will make the assumption, well, actually, he's not making the assumption. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. You did ask the question, is she a swirler? So that's why
Yeah.
it came about.
Okay, so I didn't know that there was a term about this. This is the
I've
first
been
time I
using it
heard
for a
it.
long time.
I think it's so for me. How I see it is like the average black guy lacks critical thinking, and that's why they act this way to black women. That's how I feel. Okay. To be honest, I haven't met like a dark skinned guy um, that is that way, that I believe that I can like spend time with without feeling bad about myself or
Hmm.
feeling like that way. I have dated, yeah, maybe I am a thriller. I have dated different type of people because I don't really, out of curiosity mostly.
Okay.
But I don't see it as anything bad or good, because how I see it is that as I say, I see the big picture. Most guys all over the world think that they are kings, but they act like they are 12-year-old. So I think like it's for me it's a systemic problem. Only depending on which race you date, you have different way that it comes out. Like the black guy will leave you, the white guy will ignore you. The Asian guy, I don't know, I've never dated the Asian guy before, but everybody has um, their own way of abusing women.
Hmm.
uh, it's not a thing that is only black, it's only white or only Asian. It is a systemic problem due to a systemic brainwashing of the
Hmm.
masses. So yeah, I mean, for me, there's no good or bad in that. It's like, yeah.
I'm glad that you said that it's not a black thing, it's not a white thing. It's because there's an assumption out here among some swirlers that the reason why they're telling you to swirl. I'm talking specifically about the black women who swirl. The reason
Hmm.
they're telling you to swirl in the first place is because there's this assumption or this narrative going around that it's black men that are the ones that are the most abusive, that are the most weak. So there's people out here that actually believe that, and I'm happy that you, as a young woman, that you don't feel that way because I think that there's this, like I said, there's this movement, and I'm like you, I didn't know what swirling was for a long time until people started telling me. They said, Rashida, why are you always trying to get the black man back? They said, why don't you go swirl? I'm like, what? It's not my mind. My whole mission is to bring black people together, but
Yeah.
a group of uh, women on the internet, black women, who are encouraging young, old as well, but I think they're really going after the younger women to swirl. And to me, this is not anything against any race of people, but to me,
No.
I'm not trying to commit genocide. My whole mission for me is to repair, reparations,
Yeah.
relationship between the black man and dark skinned black, for me, specifically the dark skinned black woman, but black women
Yeah.
people. And so there's no way that I could leave. I'm leaving myself. I can't do that. It's all about
No.
care. So I'm actually happy to hear you. You're balanced. I think a lot. I wish you had a YouTube channel. I think you should start a YouTube channel that a lot of people, young and old, could learn from that balance. There's the YouTube community is lacking balance, and what you just said was very important. I hope you got the guys out here, the black men that's watching. I hope you all are listening to what this young year-old sister said. It's profound in the YouTube age that it's not a black thing. It runs through all races. Thank you for saying that because it's the truth.
Yeah. 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 I mean, yeah. For me, if you focus only on the black stuff, you're missing like the big problem and the big systemic problem that is going on. It's not only but we black people think we suffer, but it's not only we suffer. We suffer differently. Everybody's suffering, and if you look at it from a big perspective, you will see why we are suffering and how it became like this. So I hope that everybody can use that and see things from a bigger perspective, because the bigger the picture is, the more you start to see the patterns, and you
Absolutely.
get to break the line.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on here. I really enjoyed hearing your ideas. Is there anything else whatever you want to share and put out in closing? Feel free to put it all out there. Whatever you feel comfortable with sharing.
Um, yeah, so basically, I am at this moment writing a lot and trying to make that YouTube channel that you were talking about. I would like to invite people when it's done, but at this moment I have nothing to show, only my words. So that is all I can say. And I would love for people to focus on knowing themselves. It is really important that you know yourself, because when you know yourself, you can never be angered by other people's opinions or what other people are doing, or what other people are trying to make you believe or make you see or make you put your precious energy on. Because we all have like this limited energy in life. Every day you have like this limited energy that you can spend, and you're at birth, you get like this limited energy that you can use. And I want people to use it wisely, use it like you're using money. Like, you have to think about, but if I spend my energy on this, is it going to have a return of investment, or is it going to be a waste of energy? I would like to give this to people, because I believe that if you manage your energy well and you stop giving your energy to negativity, I don't say like, oh, don't close your eyes of negativity, because it's important that you know what is going on in life, so you know what the pitfalls are and not to fall in that. But I also really want to give this to people. It's so important to know thyself. Take the time to listen to your heart. Take the time to realize that you are not the mind, you are not the emotion, and you are not this body. You are far more precious. And when you can see that, your life will change, and you will know that you have so much more power than they let you believe that you have. So that is what I want to give to everybody and
Very
say.
powerful. Thank you for coming on and sharing with us. And I just want to let you know that whenever you get your products and everything together, feel free to contact me and come back on here and talk to the people and tell them what you got. And I encourage you to start a YouTube channel, because you have a lot of greatness to share with people. I enjoy sitting up here listening. I talk a lot, but I do like to listen to people and have some sense and something to talk, and you definitely have that. So I appreciate you for coming on. Like I said, when you're done with your finished product, please to know how we can support. That's I'm like the action taker. I'm listening to you talk and I'm thinking to myself, okay, how can I support her? That's the next step in my head. So
Uh,
get that together, email me, hit me up, and I'm right here. Thank you.
okay. Thank you very much. I'm really grateful for, you letting me come here on your channel.
Of
It's
course.
it's really nice. I think you're an amazing person.
Thank you.
So thank you
Likewise.
very much.
Thank you. All right. Have
And
a good night.
yes, you too. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
Hi everyone. I don't know how this works.
Okay. All right, y'all. That was an awesome discussion there. That was, I mean, I didn't know what we was going to be um, talking about. That was my first time talking to this sister. I do stuff very impromptu. I really don't plan on my own channel. I really don't do that unless, of course, I'm doing my play. But that sister is just absolutely gracious, absolutely an overcomer. She's a shining example of what we can do with dark skin activism. Obviously, she didn't know about it. She just, recently finding out about me. But she's the bigger picture. And I'm, just listening to her story. Some of y'all just tuned in. But this sister has a very powerful story. And, all the tragedy and the sorrow that she went through, and she didn't really necessarily delve into it, but I can feel it. If someone has been displaced from their home and their parents, and they have to end up being adopted, and they have to end up coming over to another one person's home, and the person is treating you bad. You 12 years old, you're a young kid, and you come. That's a painful thing right there. I can relate to that because I myself experienced some of that. Not to the level that the young sister experienced it, but I know what it feels like to be in someone's home and not be fully treated right. And so my heart goes out to her, and I'm just so happy that she overcame. And like I said, I don't know about the project in detail, but our sister is welcome to come back on here, and I'm in support already. I just love it. I didn't know what we was gonna get, what we was gonna talk about. None of this was like pre-planned. That was our first time actually seeing each other face to face and talking to each other. We had just been conversing today via email. So I am just very impressed with her, and I pray that God, uh, just guides her and directs her, and that she is going to do some great things. I'm like very impressed with her, and I tell y'all like this, I'm not impressed with a lot of people. I'm just going to be honest. Jerry, no, he was over here listening to the interview, just inspired. She's a very impressive person, young, dark-skinned black woman that done been through hell and back, and she's here to tell the story. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I could relate to that. Like I told her, she actually reminds me of me. It's just, she's smiling and happy. And I was the opposite. I was sad and quiet and introverted. But our spirits are of the fight. We're going to keep going. We're going to do this, and we're going to overcome. And that's what I read from her. And I absolutely respect it. And so y'all look out for it. If she contacts me again and wants to tell us about, her project, and, sort of pulls everything together, like say, for example, a website or a YouTube channel or a product, her clothing line she talked about, I'm a big supporter of Black business. I love to support Black business, because everything that she's speaking about, it is anti-systemic economic darkism. Everything. Yes, Anthony, you can play it back. That sister, man, my heart, when she started, because this is my first time, like I said, talking to her verbally. I just got an email, and I read you guys the email earlier, so I didn't know much about her. So she told us that she's from Ghana, and she moved to the Netherlands, but she had been adopted, and she, was basically displaced from her parents, which she didn't go into detail about that. But she was adopted and had kind of a bad childhood, not treated right. Okay, at the age of 12, you come into somebody's house and they're adopting you. and they're telling you you can't use certain utensils. Why are you adopting somebody? I hate it when people mistreat children. I literally, ugh, I'm just sitting up here listening to her, and I'm saying, thinking to myself, how do you, with a clean heart and sleep at night, being abusive like that? If you are not going to treat a child like your own and love them and care for them, why bring them into your home? It makes no sense. So that sister has been through a lot, and she's probably, she has a smile on her face, and I'm so happy about that. But she's been through a lot that probably ain't even scratched the surface. So I'm in full support. Like I said, if she contacts me again with updates on her project, believe me, I'm gonna bring her up on here, and y'all support, because that is what we have to do. That is what it's all about. Supporting young, dark-skinned, brilliant minds. That's important. Black minds. But y'all know I'm the dark-skinned activist, and I'm here to support dark-skinned people. I am inspired. I'm so happy that she and I got a chance to talk. Akua is her name, from Ghana. And some of y'all was up here making the assumption that she was a swirler with this person that is in the thumbnail. And that wasn't the case. So anyway, so I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. I really appreciate everybody that's in the building. I want to ask y'all to make sure y'all share this video. Make sure you like the video. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Also, I have a play called The Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge that's coming up on June 26th. And you can watch it through live stream pay-per-view, folks. Live stream pay-per-view. Okay? Pay-per-view live stream. I do have the flyer that I just made. Hold on, y'all. Because I'm always working. I'm always working. I never stop working on what I need. That's why, when that sister started talking about action, being action oriented and just taking action, that is so important. That is so important, because when we take action, when we stand up and say that we want to make our dreams a reality, okay? When we say that we're going to do little things, and it doesn't matter, take little small steps on a daily basis to make that dream a reality, then that is when we become powerful. And so I'm the type of person that's an action taker. I take action. Okay. A lot of people told me that I wasn't going to produce no play. You're not going to do this. And people didn't want to help me. And, so for me, she struck a nerve with me, because I just kept taking action and just keep pushing forward, and the sky is the limit. So, I am just so honored. Ladies and gentlemen, I got a play that's coming up on June 26th. It's going to be at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. And my graphics person has just completed a flyer for me. I actually changed some of the graphics from saying Atlanta, which it is in Atlanta, you can come, but I put the bold caption pay-per-view live stream, because I want you guys to understand that you can watch A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge through pay-per-view live stream from anywhere in the world. I don't care where you're at. You can watch. All you need to do is go to my website, and I'm gonna do a quick screen share here. Give me a second. I thought the flyer was finished. I thought the flyer was finished. Thank you, Anthony Taylor, for the donation. Thank you. Anthony Taylor said, I'm gonna read your comment. You said, Miss Taylor, Miss Strober. Uh-oh. I hope my light-skinned boyfriend does not listen to this. That was a slip. I didn't mean to say that. I absolutely do, because I'm producing the show myself. For those of you that don't know, I wrote the show. I wrote the play. I also wrote the book, A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge. I perform as all the characters in the play. Let me quickly do a screen share so that you guys can understand what I'm saying. So this is A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge. These are the characters. This is me, by the way, for those of you who don't know. I'm glad you asked that question, Anthony, because I can get into specifics. I get all the proceeds because I'm the producer. I'm producing it. I wrote it. I directed it. I'm playing all the characters, and I'm not doing it because I want to. It's just money. If I had a huge budget, believe me, I would hire other people. I would contribute to Black economic development. But I can't wait till I get enough money to do it. I got the talent. God gave me the gift. Like the sister said, we all got gifts. So I play all the characters, and I rehearse every day. I get up probably around like 5:30 in the morning rehearsing. Even though I've done this show a million times, I'm a perfectionist, and I'm a perfectionist. I like to be the best at what I do. This is what I do. So I wrote the play. I produced the play. I play all the characters. So you have Sharifa Adams up here, and I'm like, the sister ain't gonna give y'all too much now. Now people love to copy me now. Come on, y'all can't be out here. I wrote this play back in 2006. Okay, 2006, before there was social media. Before there was social media was strong like this. So there's Sharifa Adams. That's me as Sharifa Adams. That's me as Sister Glenda Applebaum. That's me as Delphine Huckleback. Me as Georgiana Nelson, and me as the Joma legend. So I'm playing 5 different people. So, and it's the physicality of this show. It's a one-woman show about dark skin. It's the definitive original. No one's ever done this before. If they do it now, you copying me. About dark skin. I've been performing this on what I call the Dark Skin Activist Tour since 2006. I performed at the DC Black Theater Festival, the Atlanta Black Theater Festival. In fact, I was on the first Atlanta Black Theater Festival. So I've been putting in work for years. So absolutely, the proceeds do go to me. But I will also tell you that I'm Black economic development because the venue is Black owned. That money is going into the hands of a Black owned venue owner. The camera person that I will have filming is a Black man. He's going to be, in fact, we're going to be at the venue. I think we're supposed to meet up around the beginning of June to go over some tech stuff. He's Black. The person that designed this website initially, a Black woman out of Atlanta. Okay, so I'm working with Black people. I'm not opposed to working with other people, but I do try to, in fact, 9 times out of 10, Jerry right here, he'll tell you, I put the money back into the hands of Black people. I've been doing this for years. It's so, yes, the proceeds go to me just like it would any other producer of a show. And if I'm the actor, I'm playing all the characters, then I'm gonna get that money. So quite naturally, it's gonna go to me. But the things that I cannot do, I pay other people to do it, which is why I'm always raising funds. And usually I'm hiring Black people. That's usually how it goes. So I hope that I answered your question. Let's see. Somebody else said, let's see. Omega Courtney said, I'll be in Atlanta for it. I would love to meet you. Thank you. I would love to meet you too. I appreciate that. Shout out to you. So yeah, it's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be phenomenal. Let me tell you, you're gonna get your money's worth. I don't play. I'm a perfectionist. So when I do get a budget to produce the show on a bigger level and start hiring actors, let me tell you something. I expect perfection. I'm dead ass serious though, for real. Like you gotta beat yourself being the best. That's how I feel about it. Like I'm my own biggest critic. So I'm looking for, in these characters that I done put my soul and heart into, I'm looking for perfection. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, the only one that I ain't giving up is my Georgiana Nelson. I'm gonna probably hire other dark-skinned actresses to play these characters, but Georgiana Nelson and Delphine Huckleback, I like her now. First, I ain't used to like her, but I like her. I have conversations with these women on a day-to-day basis. Y'all call me crazy? Call me crazy. Because as a performer, as an actor, like I said, I'm up rehearsing before everybody else because I gotta be the best. I gotta be the best at what I do, and I'm a perfectionist when it comes down to the art of performing. It's very important to me that the audience is getting a hell of a show, and I've always delivered based on the feedback I've gotten from people. I always ask for anonymous audience feedback. I've got cards that I've collected over the years from the shows I've done in New York to the shows I've done in Texas, and I get the feedback of the people. And I aim to, to give you your money's worth, and that's what I do. So you're getting 5 dark skinned women. This is the definitive play about dark skin. No one's ever done what I've done before. No other dark skinned woman can say that now. Yeah, I am kind of arrogant in that sense. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. Because I done put blood, sweat, and tears. Jerry know he been at all my productions. And my light-skinned cousin, she might be in the building. Am I lying, Jerry? My light-skinned cousin, y'all might see my light-skinned cousin in the building. She has actually traveled with me to venues before, and she's done work, to assist me in different capacities as I execute my performances. And so we talked tonight, just so y'all know, we may have her there doing some assisting, like, helping me to manage the stage and other administrative things that need to be done. So yeah, and that's why I'm always, again, I'm raising funds because I have expenses. So there you have it. I can't wait. So you guys could watch it from the comfort of your own home through pay-per-view live stream. Okay. You can click the buy now button and you get your tickets. And by the way, you go to darkskinactivist.com. Once again, that is darkskinactivist.com. You click that buy now button for the pay-per-view, and make sure you're paying attention. It says pay-per-view live stream, buy now, and it will take you to the get your virtual tickets now. And then you click that button and you go ahead and purchase your virtual tickets. Now, if we go back to, give me a second. If we go back to darkskinactivist.com, you scroll on down and you're going to click the buy now button if you want to come in person. Okay. So this is the buy now button by my screaming picture, which is one of the many photos I've taken for this show over the years. I took this picture years ago. So I'm going to be at a location called the White Label. And that's located at 349 Decatur Street Southeast, Unit M as in Mary. And that's Atlanta, Georgia. The show starts at 7:30. Folks, I start on time too. 7:30 promptly. I'm going to start, and I pray that no type of technical hitches go off, but provided no technical hitches go off, I always start on time. That's just learn to be on time because I respect people's money and their time. And I'm going to do a darkism talk right after the show. All right. So now if you're at my website, darkskinactivist.com, once again, that's darkskinactivist.com. If you scroll down to the bottom, guess what? I'm giving away a free copies of my ebook. Okay. So you can get a free electronic copy of Darkism by going to my website. Anthony said, crazy, but average people on YouTube don't write books and produce their own plays. You got it. And you know why that is, Anthony? Because I've been doing this before YouTube existed. I brought what I was doing to YouTube as another form of marketing, and people saw it and started to plagiarize me. I'm glad you said that. You're right. They don't write books and plays. I've written more. I created this framework. I created this lane, and people saw what I was doing and they stole. That's the bottom line. They were not doing this. I'm the only Black woman on YouTube that can say I was speaking on colorism and darkism before social media. No one else could say that except for Cola Booth. The idea, people didn't have the idea to do it. I built an entire brand around dark skin. I am the first to do this. If you go and do a Google Rashida Strober Google search, if you go and do that, if you type in Rashida Strober, you're going to do your own research. I mean, my receipts is all over the internet. I don't lie. Number one, I've written more books on dark skin than anybody. I started doing this first. Myself and Cola Boop. I have to include Cola Boop. So yeah, you can clearly see some date stamps. 2011, 2013. I got an interview way back from 2010. Okay, I've been doing this. My books, I got so many books on dark skin. I have Darkism. Let's go to the shop. I have Darkism, 25 ways dark skinned people are discriminated against. A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge. That's the old cover I used to use. Okay. Darkism. These are not, all of my books are not even on my website. I also have Token, where is it? Token Dark Girl. So I've been doing this for the longest. I've been doing my plays for years before there was YouTube. No one else thought to do this until they saw what I was doing and they began plagiarizing and copying. That's a fact. This play, A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge, was copywritten in 2006 with the Writers Guild of America. Again, it shows that I've been doing this for years. Now, you can't just wake up and do this. This has got to be something that's in you. So, I mean, this is what I do. I'm never gonna stop doing what I do. I invented this lane, period. And you know, I'm glad you see the truth. I'm glad you see the truth. I'm glad you see the truth, Anthony. Thank you for pointing that out. Omega Courtney says, I'm writing a script now. The reason why I'm coming to Atlanta is to get it sold. And make sure you protect it. Make sure you protect it. Learn from me, Omega, because people, especially with social media, these celebrities, they take from people. These producers of these reality TV shows, they steal. I promise you, nobody was talking about dark skin until it popped off with the Kendrick Lamar debacle. And then all these colorism channels popped up after me. They all copied me. These are facts. Facts. Anybody that's honest with decency knows that I'm telling the truth. So make sure, Omega, you go to protect it. Go to the United States Copyright Office. Let me Google it right now. United States Copyright Office. Make sure you go and you copyright it, because people will steal from you. Go to the United States Copyright Office. This is it right here. I've been here many a times. All my work is copywritten. All my plays, all my books, everything is copywritten. So if when I do bring legal claim against these people, I have a legal leg to stand on because I copyright everything. And guess what? They have copyright dates before these people. All of my work does. So make sure you go and copyright it. That's not going to prevent people from stealing from you, but you will have a legal leg to stand on if people decide to infringe on your brand. Another one, you want to go to the United States, the trademark office. This is another one. You want to go. Now, this costs a little bit more money, but it's worth it. You're going to pay around $300 something. Maybe if you pay for an attorney, it might cost you more, but it's worth it. So I own my trademark dark skin actors. That's mine. I created it. I built it from nothing. Nobody was doing what I was doing. They all stole. So I have a legal standing here. So yeah, but anyway, so make sure y'all support. You can go to any one of the financial platforms you feel comfortable with. Oh God, Randy SoCal, why are you here? Why? I mean, come on, you on some? Anyway, he tripping. He back again, Jerry. He's back again, Randy SoCal. Jerry just over there laughing. I know, Jerry. I feel the same way too. You can go to my GoFundMe and make a donation. Help me get this campaign to $10,000. It's going to help me produce this show and more shows. So I'm going to drop the link in the chat box right there for you guys. Also, you can go to my Cash App. Please go to my Cash App and make a donation. the money goes towards, give me a second, y'all. That's my graphic designer. Give me a second. The money goes towards me producing my shows about dark skin. So, right now my expenses include the venue, the travel, the marketing. Oh, the marketing. My budget for marketing is not big at all. I need to raise more money to push. When I say marketing, I have to promote it, and that's not cheap. It's not free. Some promotion is, but I need money to promote and to market. So yeah, you can go to my Cash App. I'm just looking down here at my phone because I'm dropping the information in the chat box. My Cash App is $Rashida Lala. The money also goes to pay my cameraman. I have to pay him. We're going to be meeting with each other at the venue somewhere at the beginning of June to go over the logistics. So I do this. This is what I do. This is what I've been doing for years, and I've been doing it with, I don't even understand how, except for the grace of God, I've been able to do it with little or no money. I've still been able to fund it and get these shows off the ground. So if you guys want to help out at any time, help out now. I need help to pay for the production costs. Once again, they're very simple and straightforward. I have to pay for the venue. I have to pay for the travel because I live in Florida, so I'm traveling to Atlanta. I have to pay for the marketing. I need a way better marketing budget. Trust me, I need some money to promote this show the right way. I have to pay for the camera, the tech, and the live stream setup. Okay, so please go and make a donation. Once again, you can go to my GoFundMe by Googling Rashida Strober GoFundMe, or you can go to my Cash App. Okay, so it's up to you. And I do appreciate everybody that's already donated. I thank God for all of y'all. Y'all are helping me to make this thing happen, and no amount is too great or too small. I'm waiting for my graphic person to come through with the updated flyer I have, because I wanted to put, like I said, I had Atlanta on there, even though I'm going to be filming in Atlanta. That's important, but I wanted to make sure I put the pay-per-view live stream and kind of blow that up. So I had my graphics person go back and change the flyer. Give me a second, y'all, to change the flyer that has Atlanta, and I'm just gonna show it to you guys. I'm gonna share my screen once again. Give me 1 second. Screen share. Share the screen. Okay, I'm sharing the screen once again. So I had my graphics person. So here on this flyer, as you can see, it says watch from home or in Atlanta in white, but I got Atlanta in big, bold yellow letters. But what I did was I'm gonna have just two versions. I'm gonna have the live stream. The person is gonna put the live stream in the place of where the Atlanta is, so that people are very clear that they can watch this through pay-per-view live stream. They can watch from home or from wherever. It's up to them. So I'm just trying to make everything as easy and simple as I possibly can with the resources that I have at hand, y'all. I'm not no rich person. I'm an artist that's out here just pushing my work. I'm the dark skin activist. I believe in what I do. And that's why I'm here raising funds, because I got to make this happen. I got no choice but to make this happen, but to just keep going. That's really what it's all about. I just got to keep going. Simple as that. And let me stop screen sharing here for a second. So I just I appreciate everybody for taking the time to watch. Give me a second here, guys, because I'm about to pull up the finished flyer here so you guys can see. And that's, again, that's what I'm using. I use the funds for. I have to create different marketing campaigns, so making flyers and stuff like that. So, you know, it's, let's see, give me a second, because I'm working with my graphics person. Okay. Multitasking here, y'all. The dark skinned activist never sleeps. I am, when I get ready to produce my play or when I'm in production mode, um, I don't sleep. Jerry will tell you. Am I lying, Jerry? I barely sleep. I'm always like working. Like I'm always working, always working. And that's what's going on right now. Always working, always putting in work. And it's what, it's almost 11 o'clock at night, and I'm up here conversing with my graphics person right as we speak. And I think that they have actually finished the flyer. But yeah, support my work. Y'all gonna love. Y'all gonna absolutely adore and love the show. Um, it's so many. Lord have mercy. Talking about Jerry broke. How you know that? Are you in Jerry pocket? Are you? He all up in your pocket, Jerry. He's all up in your pocket. He's all up in your pocket, child. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. He's all up in your pocket, like he know exactly how much you got in your bank account, child. Money ain't a problem for me. You know that. I know. Believe me, I know, Jerry. I know. I know. I know. There you go. Oh my God, Randy SoCal, bet you've been hating on me for years. Instead of you coming up on the platform, speaking your piece, I don't understand why you won't just. I don't understand why you won't just come on the platform. Oh my goodness. I done reached out to you. I done told you. I said, listen, you could come on here and we can chop it up and debate about whatever you want. I'm not that type of person to where I won't talk to people. I mean, I'll make time to talk to you. I'll make time to talk to you. And you would rather come in the chat and just, I don't know what you're going through. I don't understand. Honestly, I'm really trying to understand what your problem is. Because if I have such a big problem with somebody and you know what I'm saying, that person said, well, listen, come on my platform, let's hash it out. I would be like, okay, let's go. You know, but you won't do that. You will not do that. You would rather come in the chat and just cause all kind of chaos. And I don't have a problem with you doing that. I just want you to get serious and address me face to face. That's what I want you to do. I just don't understand why you would just choose to keep on coming. And we can't have no debate in the chat. We cannot have a debate in the chat. Hold on, y'all. Randy SoCal, we cannot have a debate in the chats. That's not how it goes. If you think for 1 minute that I'm going to sit here and be going back and forth with you in the chat, I'm not going to do that. Typing up stuff, that's crazy. Why would I do that? Why on God's green earth would I sit up here and have a debate with you in the chat? And I think that that's what you want me to do. And it makes absolutely no sense to me. Anyway, let me show y'all the updated flyer. Let me screen share, and I'm gonna get out of here because I'm sleepy. I need to go get some rest. I'm gonna share my screen one more time for y'all. I think Randy SoCal is just in love with me. I mean, I just don't understand. Okay, so this is the pay-per-view live stream, guys. This is the flyer. As you can see, it's pay-per-view live stream. Now, I got two versions. I got the Atlanta version and I got the pay-per-view live stream version. So there you have it. There you have it. Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. Y'all remember that song? Okay, so y'all got a choice now. You come in Atlanta or you can come and watch the pay-per-view live stream. It is your choice, people. Okay? Like I said, y'all, make sure y'all support. Make sure y'all donate. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Even the ones that sit there and talk craziness to me. Randy SoCal, you said I was on a real, I'm reading what you said, panel last week, but this is my YouTube crushing me and her are beefing. Okay, see, that's what I'm saying. You're in love with me. See, you just proved my point. But no, seriously, I'm still reaching out to you, Randy SoCal, after 5-6 years. We don't have this little love affair. After 5 or 6 years, I'm still here reaching out to you, letting you know that I will welcome you on my platform. I'm not going to be yelling and cursing at you. I'll even get a moderator. If you want to get a moderator, trust me, I can get a moderator. Okay? Because obviously me and you disagree on a lot of things and you got a lot to say and I'm here for it. I'm here for you. I'm not going to be disrespectful. I'm always going to speak my mind and give my point of view, but you can give yours as well. So when you're ready, Randy SoCal, when you're ready, you can hit me up. My email is darkskinisbeautifulcampaign@gmail.com. Thank you all for watching. I want to thank our beautiful sister Akua for coming on. I really appreciate you and I'm very inspired by you. And just so you know that whenever you get everything together, you can contact me anytime and I will definitely support whatever it is you want to do. I'm in support. And thank y'all for all watching. The world's first and only dark skin activist, Rashida Strober, the creator of the very first platform in history for dark skin known as Dark Skin Activism. And make sure y'all get your pay-per-view live stream ticket to see the most groundbreaking play about dark skin and colorism you ever gonna see in your life. It's called The Dark Skin Woman's Revenge, coming up on June 26th. Get your tickets at darkskinactivist.com. Once again, that is darkskinactivist.com. Good night.